Quick correction from last week. Virgin Galactic was not on its way to the International Space Station, which I see as ISIS. The correlation I meant was to compare Virgin Galactic with ISIS, the Galactic Virgin Mother. On the subject of ISIS, Barack Obama is sending 1,500 more soldiers to Iraq to fight the ISIS threat. I'll skip the Nobel Peace Prize joke because it is much more interesting to see that pop star Rihanna visited the White House in the same time frame as the news hypes a female soldier fighting ISIS, who happens to be known as Rihanna. Great catch on that one from Jason Barrera of the Mask of God blog. Oh hey, and doesn't Rihanna have an ISIS tattoo in her boob shadow? Actor Warren Clark died yesterday. You know him as Dim, the street thug turned police thug in A Clockwork Orange. 100,000 protesters clash with police in Brussels. While in other news, Americans tried Doritos-flavored Mountain Dew. A Christian conspiracy video detailing the Vav 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 666 encoded onto Monster energy drinks goes viral this week. Heads up, you guys are 10 years behind the curve, and it gets much weirder than that. However, it is my turn to get legitimately upset about an evil product.
A mother bought her toddler this princess wand at the dollar store behind me. Imagine her surprise when the curious little girl peeled back the foil to find this image of a girl cutting herself inside.
There is so much wrong with this story, from the idea of buying a princess anything in a dollar store, to the slave labor that is undoubtedly behind your princess anything in a dollar store, to the ignorant and inattentive mother who bought an evil stick thinking it was a princess wand, to the very real issue of young girls cutting themselves. I am genuinely upset about this. And to top it all off, they use the image of Cardcaptor Sakura on the packaging. I have recommended that cartoon over and over again. It is so damn good. And to see it sullied like this makes me think Sync Quick News might need to do an extended special report in the near future.
The name on it, it says Evil Stick. So from the name, I would, if I'm buying it for my kid, for a 5, 6, 7, 10 years old, I mean, they see that on TV every day.
This is simply a bag of jagged, dangerous glass bits.
We're just packaging what the kids want, you know? I mean, it's a creative toy. I mean, you know, you hold this up, you see colors, you know, you see all the colors of rainbows, you know? I mean, it teaches them about light refraction, prisms and that stuff, you know? Prisms, you know what I mean?
Harkening back to the Prism and New York City Rainbow Bridge story we covered in our October 30th episode, the Brooklyn Bridge is in stable condition after a cargo ship called Rainbow Quest crashed into it. Joanna Lenski noted that it was the boat's light tower that collided with the bridge. In related news, while polishing up the anti-prism surface of the newly opened World Trade Center, window washers became trapped outside the 68th floor yesterday. We don't have time here to explain why it's so significant, but I encourage you to check out the wonderful work of the Kitchen Sink Facebook group to dig deeper. And on the same day as the World Trade Center was back in the news, our attention is back in space, as the Rosetta spacecraft and Philae lander achieved the first ever controlled touchdown on a comet, showing that every freaking space organization is obsessed with symbolism. The onboard camera is named Osiris. The lander is named after an island in the Nile where an obelisk was found and used, along with the Rosetta Stone, to decipher Egyptian hieroglyphics. Note that Mail Online actually compares the comet to London's Shard obelisk. Warren Coleman does a great job of laying out the symbolism and the names here, so check his site out. You can find all these links at thesyncbook.com/quick. And again, this all ties into the stories we've covered in the last few weeks, so you can review previous episodes while you're at it. See you next Thursday.